Hi, everybody. I'm here with Jim Earl and Ron Placone. How you fellas doing?
Hello.
You know, like I've been saying, and I said before the election, that the Trumpster, our political process, our politics in America had got so corrupted that the Party of the Workers were actually in bed with Wall Street and actually explicitly said that we're not going after workers. We're going after white Republicans in the suburbs. That's what the party that's supposed to stick up for work. So you're supposed to have two parties. One's representing corporate interests, right-wing conservative, one lefty, representing regular people and workers. Now we have two parties representing corporations and white-collar workers, and nobody representing them. So so now Trump got elected, and it woke up the people to how horrible their Democratic government has been also. So now people are really paying attention to what's happening in government, which is a silver lining of a Trump administration. People are really paying attention. And it's not astroturfed like the Tea Party mostly was, which we know through research. And so here is this happened in Sacramento. And I love the headline. Politicians saw danger in a town hall meeting. Police saw it differently. This is Republican Representative Tom McClintock, and he went to a town hall meeting. About 500, more people said more than 500 showed up. And they were upset about two things. Repeal of the ACA was a big one. So there you go. That's the people showed up. This is good to see, right? This is real. This is what's going on. People, hey, we're watching you. So what happened? So they went down there, and the congressman tried to make representative, the Republican, tried to make it look like, oh, it was an unruly mob. His constituents, the unruly mob. So he goes, I have held more than 100 town hall meetings in my district throughout the last 8 years, spanning the entire life of the Tea Party and Occupy Wall Street movements. Throughout all those heated debates, the police have never had to intervene. That changed when the Roseville Police Department determined that the size and temper of the crowd required a police escort to protect me as I left the venue. I'll say... What did Benjamin Franklin say? Was it Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin? They say when the people fear the government, you have tyranny. When the government fears the people, you have democracy. I'm pretty sure that's the quote. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from the congressman. My chief of staff came up to me when we finished and said the situation out front is deteriorating. Roseville Police Department wants you out, so I didn't argue. That's what the Republican representative said. McClintock later offered this in an email to the Sacramento Bee. He said, there was a lot of confusion at the scene. The town hall meeting was scheduled to run from 10 to 11. Because of the overflow, my intention was to have a second round of talks with attendees, but this apparently wasn't conveyed clearly to the police. At 11, the police made the determination that an escort was needed, and they did so. That was their decision, not mine, based on their assessment of the crowd. Daniel Hahn, though, see, here's a little different story from the police. Daniel Hahn, the chief of police in Roseville, wants to be clear. His department did not shut down a recent town hall meeting staged by Republican Representative Tom McClintock. They did not. The police did not shut down that meeting. Nor did it tell McClintock that he had to leave for his own safety because of an unruly crowd. The cops did not say that stuff. This is according to the police chief. Roseville police made no arrests related to McClintock's February 4th meeting at Tower Theater. There were no acts of vandalism attributed to an estimated crowd of 500 people who packed the theater and the street out front. Hahn said, this is the police chief, said that the situation out front was under control. There was never any violence or property damage.
You mean nobody ever threw any chairs at the stage?
It turns out no. Was the gathering loud? Yes, said the police chief. Was it the biggest protest Hahn has seen in nearly 6 years at Roseville, chief? Yes, it was the biggest. But things went very well that day. They went as well as could be expected. The people gathered weren't causing problems. According to McClintock, who lives in Elk Grove but represents a congressional district cutting across 10 counties from Alpine to Fresno, some people at the town hall meeting most definitely were causing problems. He referred to an anarchist element. In his House speech, McClintock said he saw similarities between what transpired at his town hall meeting and one of the darkest moments in our nation's past. Once in our history, we stopped talking to each other. That was the election of 1860. That election was marked not by reconciliation, but by rioting in those regions where the opposition dominated.
What the fuck is he talking? What? What?
As we know from our history books, the election of 1860 swept Abraham Lincoln into the White House and preceded a civil war that caused the deaths of more than 600,000 people. Have we not started down that road again? McClintock asked in his speech. So 2 things here. First, your representatives are scared to death of people who actually are informed and show up. So keep doing that. We need to keep doing that. We need to keep getting in their faces, making them uncomfortable constantly, calling their offices, showing up in public, badgering them with questions, and letting them know that they're going to be voted out. So this is great. This is great. Second thing is that it shows that they're willing to lie. Oh, these people are worse than any other people. The people who are upset about the ACA and Trump, they're worse than Occupy Wall Street people. So I love that the police chief completely contradicted him. I love that. No, there are people doing what people. This is America. You're allowed to come to a town hall and protest your elected representative loudly. You're allowed to do it really loud. It's okay. So more of this is happening. It's happening where every day it seems like we're doing a show about another politician having his constituents get in his face about all the stupid shit they're doing and the anti-American stuff. I think it's great. I love the video. I love anybody. You guys have anything to say, Ron, Jim?
Yeah, I love his bogus analogy. Although the one thing that this situation did probably have in common with 1860 was that people showed up to those types of events all the time because they had to, because they didn't have technology to get information any other way.
Right.
So that's the only commonality it had in his bogus little analogy.
Yeah, I think people getting involved in 2017 when you threaten to take their health care away and then coming to a town hall, I think that's just like slave owners wanting to secede from the country. That's exactly the same. Jim?
I don't get the analogy at all. I don't get. Am I completely dense here? I don't understand what he wasn't. I don't think Lincoln was swept into office either. It was a really close election. It was very close, wasn't it? I mean, that's not sweeping. And Abraham Lincoln isn't the thing that caused the Civil War.
Right. It was the South seceding.
It was 50 years of vacillating incrementally on getting rid of slavery, basically.
Yeah, but if he can equate protesting with starting the Civil War, that looks good for him.
Wait, quick fun fact here. So where the people fear the government, you have tyranny. Where the government fears the people, you have liberty. That quote is actually John Basil Barnhill.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, John Basil Barnhill.
Oh, I don't even know who that guy is. Was he on Faulty Towers? I think that guy was on Faulty Towers.
But Benjamin Franklin did say fish and relatives smell after 3 days.
Yes.
That's what he did say.
Dead fish and relatives, right? I think a live fish smells, to be honest. I do. Anyway, that's
You're just killing the joke with details now.
Good news, get in their faces, get involved. People need to get, a democracy requires an informed electorate, right? That's what we need. Donnie Tynahan's is such a scary MFer that people are paying attention. Hey, the next live Jimmy Dore show is March 4th. That's a Saturday. Get your tickets right below. The next one after that is March 20th. The shows sell out really fast, so get your tickets right now. Links right there.